Let's see what's happening in Port Jervis. Just turned off of Route 23 onto Route 6, which is right near Route 84. So there's lots of ways to get here. And I don't think we're in it yet because we have to, I think, cross a river, but I might be wrong. Maybe we're in Port Jervis already. So it says we're on a 5-mile scenic byway. That just started. We're going underneath some train tracks. I don't know if they're active or not. Looks a little on the decrepit side. Okay, we make a left here. I put my camera down because there was a police car at the last intersection, and I know you're not supposed to drive. It's a, you know, it's a fine if you're driving with a cell phone, but did they say anything about using a camera while you're driving? Anyway, I'll put it down if I see another police officer, female officer, here in Port Jervis. So it's kind of a mixture of old buildings and new, which is typical of most of America these days. Nice old street lights, or old design. All right, let's see if it gets more interesting as we go further up the street. This looks like the heart of downtown. The Erie Hotel. Oh, there's the Erie Depot. That's the old train station. Let's pull in here. So this is the Erie Depot, built in 1892, enlarged in 1912. It served as the Delaware Division's largest station until its closing in the mid-1970s. And I think I was here one time before, and there was a restaurant in here, which was nice, but I don't think there's a restaurant now. But here's looking at part of downtown Port Jervis, and there's the Erie Hotel. There's a restaurant there. Some of the buildings look really interesting here, like this Victorian building here with a turret and kind of a swooped mansard roof on top of the turret. And I don't know whether some of these buildings are occupied or not. Definitely walk around. But first, let's walk around the Erie Depot. That's like an old water tower over there when they had steam engines. Oh, so here's a Metro North train that is leaving this modern station that's down the tracks. So we'll get to see that come by, I believe. I don't know if they're just switching and then gonna go the other way. There's tracks, there's a park over here. They don't want you crossing the road here. The gates are permanently closed. Well, we'll see. If it wants to move, we'll shoot it going by. But let's take a longer look at the Erie Depot from 1892. Some stained glass windows on the top floor. I believe this is on a line that would have taken you to Scranton. And there's different ways that passenger trains used to go to Scranton. Scranton, by the way, is a beautiful train station that I think the one time I was in Scranton, it was converted into a hotel, but it was really eye-catching. Looking back at the Erie Depot here in Port Jervis, where the trains do not stop anymore, but they get close. More residential over here. I'm not sure where the Delaware River is, but the train is moving. So we'll stay right here to watch it go by. Now it's just staying put again. So I'll walk towards it. It's a long ways to get from Port Jervis to Hoboken. The trains from this line don't go all the way into New York City. You have to go to Hoboken and then switch. Maybe you could transfer at Secaucus. There's a open air bar. This train seems like it has a hard time deciding what it wants to do. But I feel like it's coming this way now. Okay, so we'll watch it go by the Erie Depot. Here it comes. Metro North. Headed for New York City. Next stop is Otisville. And I believe it has to go through a tunnel to get there, and you can see where the train's headed. That there's a monument up on the top of the hill. That's High Point State Park in New Jersey, the highest point of New Jersey. So I'll put on the screen how long the tunnel is. It's quite long that it goes through. And the cost of commuting from Port Jervis, if you get a monthly pass, it's about $500 a month. So it better be worth it living here in Port Jervis. All right, let's take more of a look around the downtown. Beautiful station. I hope the wind slayer on my camera is doing the job. So the street that the old train station Erie Depot is on Jersey Avenue. And we're gonna walk on Fowler Street. Down one day way. Boarded up at some of these old buildings. This town is just loaded with potential. Well, they've got train service. So I don't know what they're doing down here, but they've cut off the street. And let me see what street this is that is cut off going that way. So it's Front Street. Well, let's walk down it. There's some other older houses and such. It's a Sunday in late April, so the stores are closed. You can, if you have a little boy who wants to get his haircut, he can sit on the horse at the barber shop. Looking at the older building before we hit the sun and we can't look that way. Quaint names for stores. The Grumpy Goat. So a lot of red brick here. Beautiful church and other brick buildings surrounding. And there's hills just to the, I'm gonna guess, to the north of the downtown. And then I saw a flag flying up there, so maybe there's some kind of park there. So this is the view, but it's washed out by the sun being right there to the west or south. So I will do more filming when I don't have the sun to contend with. St. Mary's Church, Parish of the Immaculate Conception. How old is this building? Does it date back to the 1800s? It's boarded up now. Faces Ball Street. That St. Mary's Church was on. Let's see if we can get through here to get back to Front Street. Yes, okay. So get the historic streetscape here. Awakening. I guess it's an antique store. And jewelry and yoga. Huh, what a combination. And then here's a bike shop where they also have kayaks. The one time I've been to Port Jervis before, we rented a raft and went down the Delaware River. Encountered some very mild rapids, but it was fun thing to do. All right, let's see what else is going on. I'm not having to worry too much about the traffic. Looking across the street, Front Street and Sussex Street. And this is a old bank that is for sale. Was a restaurant, 20 Front Street. And I saw something about Pilates. Looking back. So this is kind of a rough way to walk to the train station. But this is new. It's an improvement over the last time I was here, when I think there was just like something like akin to a bus shelter on the edge of a parking lot. So now it's got kind of a cool looking platform canopy. Kind of reminds me of what they have done at White Plains, where they did a beautiful job on remaking the station there. So it's really high-end looking, I gotta say. Wow, impressed. So there's a train waiting. It'll be the next one to go back into the city in a while. They want you to pay for parking on top of what you have to pay for the monthly pass. I'm just trying to see if they've got monthly parking. You have to pay every day, $3.25. Not cheap for way out here in the boonies. Here's their timetable. Let me see if there's a map. It's kind of a faded map that they have here because it's been in the sun, but where we are is way over here in Port Jervis. So the farthest most station on the Metro North system west of the Hudson.